that's probably a safe bet unless it's tomorrow. You've still got it all to go. Those photos that you have to take of them in their uniforms by the door or by the kitchen door, garage door, front door, they tend to be the place, or the fireplace. Let's not forget that. Looking back on these school holidays, what you've done, what plans have you had? So you had a good time, have you been able to get out and about across the region, doing all kinds of stuff? It's not as easy for every family though, and I'm not even talking about the costs of things in this case. I mean, that's one thing to consider. But for children with additional needs, it's a lot harder to find summer clubs. You know how much you might have relied on them yourself. I know my sister has. She's relied heavily on like the summer clubs and stuff for hers, for my nephews. Only 4% of families able to find one club that suits their child's needs in some cases, according to research that's been done by the Disabled Children's Partnership and Contact. Hayley is a mum from here in the northeast. She told our reporter Izzy Makepeace about her family setup.
So I've got a little girl. She's 8-year-old and she's got a overall diagnosis of Noonan syndrome. So how that affects her is she's deaf, she wears hearing aids, she uses British Sign Language to communicate. She's got global developmental delay. That means that she's generally unsteady on her feet and she needs quite a bit of looking after, really. She needs to be she's on a one-to-one, I would say, at all times. She's at school and obviously she's with me at home. So there's just the two of us at home. I suppose what I would say is she's a very happy little girl. She doesn't know any different, so she doesn't really allow her difficulties to affect her. She doesn't, as I say, doesn't know any different. She just cracks on with it. She's always got a smile on her face. So it's infectious when you're around her. Everyone just loves her, and I'm very biased, obviously, but yeah.
I'm so pleased to hear that. And how has the summer holidays been then?
I mean, it's a struggle, isn't it, when you're out of your routine. They're not in that classroom environment. They're not being challenged academically every day. So it's a struggle for typically developing children's parents, I think, to manage the unpredictability of the summer holidays, the weather, whether you're going to be able to go outside and have a bit of steam or not. But I think for us, the holidays have been really difficult. We don't have a lot of family around that can help. And I mean, I do have family, but they really struggle to look after her. There's also the difficulty of sort of holiday clubs that are generally designed for typically developing children. So in terms of access, she really struggles to access them. There has been a couple of opportunities where she's gone along to an after-school club during the holidays, but none of the children there are disabled. None of the staff can use sign language. So obviously those kind of needs aren't met, but she does have a good time regardless. So we have utilised that. And then there's also been the opportunity to access Deaf ID, which is like a deaf organisation. They've done 5 days through August whereby children can go and access their sort of activities, which is all focused around deaf children, which is brilliant. All of the staff are deaf, all of the staff can use sign language. So in terms of deaf access, that's been really good. She's obviously met with other deaf adults, so I think in terms of like providing that nuance of a role model has been really, really, invaluable really for her. But then that doesn't care for physical disabilities, so I've had to pay for somebody to go and support her on a one-to-one basis just to make sure that she's safe getting around. So there are options, but I just feel like there's nothing that really caters for all of the needs. I think for me, the ideal would be some sort of provision that is provided by deaf or by disabled people. Because I've seen definitely this summer, I don't know whether it's with her age that she's just becoming more aware, but she just feels like she really belongs and she fits into the deaf provision, the deaf youth club. Everybody uses sign language, so she knows she's going to be understood, and all of the youth workers are all deaf themselves. So that notion of that role model that I can't provide as a hearing parent, it's kind of that box is massively ticked during the summer. And I think that's a massive opportunity, really. She attended 5 of the days in August there, but it was just once a week. And the joked because she asked every single day when she was next going to Deaf Club, even on the way back from Deaf Club. And we were trying to say, actually, it's going to be another 7 days until you can go back. But she just loved it so much. It was really, really, really good for her. And there is a need for it. Deaf children and disabled children go to school every day. So they'll need the need the same as their hearing counterpart. You know, her being able to go to a place where she knows she'll be understood. I think I've never experienced that. I think I went on a tour once in Germany and there wasn't an interpreter and I had no idea, and I felt awful, like I didn't know whether people were laughing or what they were laughing at, what the tour was about, you know. So she must experience that every single day. And I think when she went to the Deaf Club, she just benefited so much in terms of the positive impact that it had on her self-esteem, her sense of belonging to a particular community, knowing that she's going to be understood. Her peers were all deaf, the staff were all deaf. So not feeling like she's the only one in the street that's playing, or the only person in the shop that uses sign language, and if she speaks to the shop assistant, they're not going to understand her, you know. Just that idea that whatever she says, she'll be understood, I think is amazing. But also that indirect notion of their role model, so thinking that that's what she could potentially do when she grows up.
That's Hayley, in her own words, talking us through her situation. It's what we're for here at BBC Radio Tees. I always say it, this is exactly why we're here, to be the voice of you. Let you share